Hello, I'm David. Welcome back to Alders Classics. In this edition, we're going to be talking about ceramic coatings. There are many different manufacturers and many different types of ceramic coating. We're going to introduce a new section which we're going to call Fight to the Finish. Okay, in the UK corner we've got G-Technic. We tend to use a lot of their paintwork products like crystal serum. We find that that's very durable and it just lasts a long time, very nice shiny finish, so we're quite keen on that one. Today we're trying out their exterior plastic product which they call C4. In the US corner we've got Cerakote's products. They call this one ceramic trim coat, and it'd be interesting to compare the two. Okay, here we go. We've got 4 pieces here which we're going to experiment with on these products. We've got from an XJS a rear pillar trim that goes on the back of the car, on the rear quarter, as you see on that car exactly where it goes. So that's the first one. Then we've got a couple of sections of bumper blade, pretty much identical. And then finally we've got a battery cover, goes in the boot. You can see it's all quite mucky at the moment. The first thing we're going to do is to give these a clean up. I've given the floor a quick wash because we don't want any silicons. Whenever you're doing coatings of any kind, you don't want silicons getting onto the final product. For washing purposes, I normally go either with G-Technic or Maguire's Gold. They're both very good products. I think I just slightly favour the G-Technic, probably got a bit less silicone in it. So we're going to wash everything down using that to begin with. Okay, so we've given all the parts a quick rinse over. Now I'm going to give them a nice clean with G-Technic Tri-Clean. I know I'm a bit paranoid about silicons, but when you have a body shop, that's something that can really wreck a nice paint job. And a lot of our cars end up going to concours, competitions, things like that. So people are understandably quite particular. So I'm going to give all these parts a quick wipe over with Tri-Clean and then dry them off. It is of course very important to wear gloves for any of these jobs. Some of these chemicals are not very friendly to your skin. So make sure you wear a decent pair of gloves at all times. There are various different applicators that you can use for the products. Today I'm just going to use the G-Technic own brand one. I find that very, very good pad. And as far as the Cerakote is concerned, that comes with its own applicator. Okay, here we are with the American Cerakote. One thing I should say is that these products are not really designed for classic cars, and what can happen, sometimes the chemicals are very strong in these modern products and they can take all the colour out. So the first thing you need to think about doing really is just to do a colour fastness test on somewhere inconspicuous, like the back of a panel. Like here I can do the inside of the battery box. And just make sure there's no black coming off before you actually do the part that's then visible. But no, you can see that's all right. Okay, so now we're going to do the coloured fast test for G-Technic. Again, somewhere inconspicuous. Just make sure that the colour doesn't actually leach out into the product, because then you're really wasting your time. No, as you can see there, no problem at all. Okay, so the first product out of the gate is our trim coat ceramic coating from Cerakote. This is basically just a little sheet of cloth saturated in the ceramic product, and the difference about this one is you just essentially wipe it on and then leave it there. The thing I found with this in the past is it starts very, very wet, and then towards the end of the life it ends up being very dry, so it's quite difficult to get a nice even coating. But on smaller panels like this, it's not too difficult. I'll quickly go back over it once more because it's still nice and wet. It won't be flushing off for quite a few minutes, so we've got plenty of time just to make sure we've got a nice even coating all over. Okay, now we're going to put the Cerakote onto the bumper blade. This has a slightly rubbery texture. It's a very hard plastic, so it'll be interesting to see how this actually dries. It's actually a little bit blotchy right now, but I think it'll even out once it's dried off in an hour or so. Okay guys, now we're going to the UK version of exterior plastic ceramic coating. Bit of a mouthful. This is the G-Technic C4, and they call this one the permanent trim restorer. We have actually used some of them for 2 or 3 years. It's a pretty good product, and we actually much prefer the applicator that comes with this. You apply your product onto the dry applicator, whereas Cerakote comes with a pre-soaked applicator, and it's absolutely wringing wet. So that is one big plus on this particular product. The G-Technic applicator has a kind of a pouch arrangement, which is quite neat. Works very nicely. Give a nice even coat. And it's up to you to decide how much product to put on at any one time. It goes on very nice and smoothly, and you can see it's already got an amazing shine. This is a bit different to our American friends, because this product is you put it on, leave it for a little while, and then buff it off. Whereas with Cerakote, it's just basically, it's a one and done. You just basically wipe it on and you leave it on there. Right, well the G-Technic products had about 15 minutes to dry. It's not especially hot today. I wouldn't want to leave it any longer than that, but if you leave it the right amount of time, you get a good shine. If you don't leave it on there long enough, you don't. If you're on there too long, it can go very gluey, and it's quite hard to get it off. If that does happen, probably the best thing at that point is to apply another coat, and that will then re-liquefy what's already on there. Okay guys, these panels have had a few hours to dry now. We do have a new British champion, I'm pleased to say, on our fight to the finish. The definite clear winner on this occasion is G-Technic C4 plastic trim restorer. It's got a nice coloration all over, and it's a decent colour. Quite happy with that colour. Must look something like how this was when it was brand new. 45, 50 years ago. So pretty happy with that result. This occasion, Cerakote, a little bit disappointing. It's actually a bit blotchy. It's got a good shine to it, but it's a bit patchy and a bit of variation in colour. I'm not going to condemn this product. I've used it lots of times in the past and been very, very happy with it. So I'm going to show you a couple of mirrors that I did shortly. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our front bumper blades, and the results here are actually very similar and both a bit disappointing. It is hard trying to get 50-year-old plastics to look really good like they were made yesterday, but I am a little bit disappointed with these. A bit blotchy, colour's not that great. We've got a few shipping containers here full of Jag parts, luckily, so I can find a couple more of these blades and use Old Faithful here. This is Swissvax seal feed fluid, which is a really good product. The only downside of this is about 85 or 90 pounds per bottle now, so it's a bit pricey, but you know, that's the price you have to pay. Okay, well, as mentioned, here is the Cerakote. I used this probably about 3 months ago on this Mustang mirror. It's about 20 years old. All the plastics on this car have come up very, very well with Cerakote. So sometimes a product will work better on one car than another, and there's a lot of trial and error, especially with the very old faded plastics like this was. But you can see we've got really good shine here and much greater depth of colour. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our video this afternoon. Fight to the finish. We'll be doing some more in the weeks and months to come. Please give our website a look, aldersclassics.co.uk, and please also like and subscribe and add a comment to the video. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Cheers.